Beloved, this word could not be delayed. Heaven is already in motion. I would not speak with this weight unless something had already begun to shift beneath the surface. This is not a message meant to stir emotion without meaning. This is a call meant to steady you, because what you have been asking for is no longer far away. It is closer than you realize. Time itself is accelerating around you in subtle ways you can feel, even if your mind has not yet caught up. What you prayed for was never lost. It was never drowned out. It did not disappear into silence or fall through unseen cracks. Every word you whispered when you were exhausted, every prayer you repeated when nothing seemed to move, every quiet question you carried when you wondered if I was still listening, I heard all of it. And now the response is moving faster than you expected, not because you finally spoke perfectly, but because preparation has finished. The waiting was not punishment, the waiting was positioning. What felt like delay was alignment taking place where you could not see it. Do not overlook this moment. Do not dismiss it as just another night or another message that fades when morning comes. What I am doing has already begun. It does not require your effort to start, but it does require your awareness to be received. Movement has already started in the unseen, and when unseen things begin to move, what is visible follows sooner than you expect. Tonight is not ordinary. I need you to understand that clearly. Some moments simply pass. Others quietly mark a turning point. This is not a night of strain. This is a night of alignment. Something you waited for, something you assumed would take much longer is lining up now. You are not imagining the shift you feel in your spirit. That stirring is real. You asked again and again, sometimes with confidence, sometimes with frustration, sometimes through tears you tried to hide. You asked when you were strong. You asked when you were worn down. You asked when faith felt steady, and you asked when belief felt fragile. And now the answer is arriving sooner than you expected, not because you finally convinced me, but because the moment has arrived. This is the confirmation you asked for, even if it looks different than you imagined. You thought it would announce itself loudly. You thought it would come with unmistakable signs and dramatic clarity. But most confirmations arrive quietly, wrapped in moments like this, where something inside you says, pay attention. The fact that you are here right now is not coincidence. It is confirmation. Do not doubt what is rising within you. That feeling is not fear. Fear braces you for loss. What you feel is anticipation. Anticipation awakens you to arrival. Your spirit is responding before your thoughts have fully processed it. If you remain open, you will witness movement that once felt impossible. Not everything will happen at once, but momentum has shifted. And when momentum shifts, progress follows. What felt stuck begins to loosen. What felt sealed begins to open. What felt delayed begins to surface. I am speaking now because hesitation would cause you to miss what is unfolding. Not because I would take it away, but because awareness sharpens reception. When you are aware, you recognize what I am doing instead of overlooking it. You stop questioning every small change and begin seeing the pattern form. The breakthrough is closer than your doubt suggests. Doubt speaks from memory. It reminds you of how long you waited, how many times you hoped and felt disappointed. But I am not limited by your past experiences. I am not repeating old cycles. What is happening now is completing what was already started. Stay present with me. Do not rush ahead in your thoughts. Do not analyze every detail. Presence matters more than understanding right now. When you stay present, you notice peace arriving before change. Peace always comes first. Peace is how you recognize that the shift is real. I know you are tempted to guard your heart. You learned to protect yourself by lowering expectations. You taught yourself to say, "I'll believe it when I see it." I understand why you learned that. But listen gently now. Protecting yourself from hope will not protect you. It will only postpone joy. Hope is not naivety. Hope is trust anchored in timing. I am not asking you to pretend everything is resolved. I am asking you to stay open. Openness is enough for this moment. When your heart remains open, what I am doing can land gently instead of pressing against resistance. You may feel the urge to test this moment, to wait for proof before believing. But belief is not denial of reality. Belief is alignment with truth before it becomes visible. What is forming now will be seen, and belief steadies you while it does. Heaven is moving. That does not mean chaos. It means order is returning. What felt scattered is aligning. What felt unreachable is being drawn closer. You are not late. You are not behind. You are arriving at the right moment. This moment matters because you are listening. Many miss moments like this, not because I am silent, but because they are distracted. You chose to stay. You chose to listen. And that choice places you directly in alignment with what is already moving. Do not measure this moment by emotion alone. Emotions shift. Measure it by the steadiness settling inside you. That steadiness is my presence. When I am near, fear loses its edge, and clarity begins to take shape. You may wonder why things feel faster now after so much waiting. It is because preparation often takes longer than fulfillment. You were being shaped quietly. Capacity was being built within you. Understanding was deepening. And now, what you carry can hold what is coming. Stay with me as this unfolds. Do not rush to explain it. Do not rush to announce it. What is real does not need immediate display. It needs to be received. You are not being tempted with empty hope. You are being prepared for fulfillment. This is not a moment to fear disappointment. It is a moment to allow trust to rise again, gently, carefully, without forcing it. I know the questions forming in you even now. I know the quiet doubts that surface when something begins to move after a long stillness. Those doubts do not disqualify you. Doubt does not stop my work. It simply reveals where healing is still unfolding, and I am patient with that healing. What you have been praying for is closer than it has ever been. Some pieces are already present. Some pieces are aligning. Others will reveal themselves step by step. You do not need to chase any of it. You only need to remain present. Do not miss this sign by expecting it to look dramatic or unfamiliar. Sometimes the sign is not an event. It is clarity settling in your chest. It is peace where anxiety once lived. It is a quiet return of hope you thought had faded. That is happening now. Stay with me here. Let this moment anchor you instead of rushing past it. Heaven is moving. Time is accelerating. And you are not on the outside of this shift. You are included. What you have waited for has not forgotten you. It is finding you. And I am speaking now because this moment carries more weight than you realize. Beloved, understand why this word could not wait any longer. The urgency you sense is not panic. It is fulfillment pressing forward. There is a difference. If you mistake movement for danger, you may pull back just as promise begins to unfold. Divine timing has accelerated, not because something failed, but because something succeeded. There are seasons where waiting is mercy, where silence protects, where delay preserves what is still forming. And then there are seasons where waiting would cause harm, not because I am impatient, but because what has been prepared is now ready to move. You are standing in that kind of season now. I know how long you have waited. I know the moments when you wondered if anything was happening at all. Moments when you questioned whether your prayers reached me. But hear this clearly. Long waiting often ends suddenly. What takes years to prepare can move quickly once alignment is complete. You see speed and assume surprise, but you are only seeing the final steps, not the groundwork beneath them. Urgency does not always signal emergency. Sometimes urgency means opportunity. Sometimes it means the door you expected to open slowly is already opening. And if you hesitate out of fear or disbelief, you may miss the moment to step forward. That is why I am speaking now, not to rush you into anxiety, but to draw you out of hesitation. Seasons do not always change gradually. Sometimes they turn. One moment everything looks the same, and the next moment growth breaks through. That growth was not sudden, it was hidden until it was ready. I watched you during the waiting. I saw the nights you prayed and felt nothing. I saw the mornings you hoped and then had to keep going anyway. I saw the patience you learned without asking for it. I saw your faith stretch in silence. None of that was wasted. That was preparation. And now preparation is giving way to movement. Do not confuse this urgency with pressure. I am not forcing you. I am inviting you to become aware. When something holy moves quickly, it does not crush the heart. It steadies it. Listen closely, and you will feel peace beneath the urgency, not fear. Fear rushes blindly. Fulfillment draws clearly. I am acting now because love knows when waiting has completed its work. There is a time when protection looks like delay, and there is a time when protection looks like action. If I waited longer, doubt would begin to settle where certainty belongs. I will not allow silence to become misunderstanding. I know sudden movement can feel unsettling after long delay. You learned how to survive the waiting. You built walls to protect yourself from disappointment. You lowered expectations so you would not be hurt again. That protection served you then, but now it can become a barrier if you cling to it. Readiness often arrives quietly. You did not wake up fully prepared one morning. You grew into it. You learned endurance. You learned humility. You learned how to listen without answers. And now you can receive what you once asked for without being overwhelmed by it. That is why this word could not wait. You are ready in ways you do not yet recognize. If I delayed longer, you would remain in a posture meant only for preparation, not fulfillment. Preparation bends inward. Fulfillment requires openness. I am calling you out of the waiting posture and into the receiving posture. Trust that my timing is neither rushed nor careless. Acceleration does not mean recklessness. It means alignment. When everything that needed to be in place finally comes together, movement happens naturally. What you are seeing now began long before this moment. Love is behind this urgency. Love that knows how long you carried hope quietly. Love that understands how disappointment shaped your expectations. I am not trying to shock you. I am reassuring you that what is happening is safe, intentional, and good. Do not measure this moment by how fast it feels. Measure it by how steady it makes you inside. Beneath the surprise, there is a sense of rightness settling within you. That is not excitement alone. That is alignment. You may fear believing again. You may say, "I've been here before." But this is not the same moment. You are not the same person. And I am not repeating old patterns. I am completing a process. This word could not wait because doubt grows when movement is ignored. I want you alert, not anxious, present, not guarded, aware that what you prayed for is no longer distant. Some parts are already here. You do not need to hurry. Urgency does not mean rushing your steps. It means clarity in your attention. It means not dismissing this moment as coincidence. It means staying open even when things feel unfamiliar. Trust me when I say this is not too good to be true. Truth can feel unbelievable after long waiting, but my faithfulness does not weaken with time. Time reveals it. Silence was necessary before. Now clarity is necessary. You are no longer in the season where waiting strengthens you. You are in the season where recognition matters. Let this urgency anchor you, not shake you.
I did not forget you in the waiting. I was shaping the outcome. This beginning matters. How you receive it will shape what follows. Stay with me. Trust my timing. Do not fear the pace. What is moving now was prepared with care, patience, and love. And you are not late to it. You are right on time. Beloved, I know it feels as though everything has begun to move all at once, almost too quickly to catch your breath. After so many slow days and quiet nights, this change can feel disorienting. You may wonder why momentum is rising now, why your thoughts feel alert, why restlessness has replaced the patient stillness you learned to carry. Listen gently. What you are sensing is not chaos. It is alignment.
There is a kind of movement that feels frantic and unstable, and there is a kind of movement that feels swift because resistance has lifted. What you are experiencing now is the second kind. For a long time, work was being done beneath the surface. Roots were growing where you could not see them. Strength was forming where you felt weak. Understanding was taking shape where uncertainty lived. Preparation moves slowly by nature. Fulfillment often feels fast by comparison. That is why this moment feels accelerated. The unseen work has completed its task. When preparation is finished, motion follows naturally. Think of a seed buried in the ground. For a long time, nothing appears to happen. Then, almost suddenly, growth breaks through. To the eye, it seems quick, but the speed only becomes visible because the work was hidden. This is what has happened in you and around you. You waited through silence. You endured stillness. You learned patience without knowing what it was preparing you for. And now the season has shifted. Movement no longer has to push against resistance. It flows. That flow can feel fast when you are used to struggle. Your heart feels alert because it recognizes change. Restlessness does not always mean anxiety. Sometimes it means readiness. Your spirit senses alignment before your mind understands it. That alertness is not meant to exhaust you. It is meant to awaken you. It is the feeling of standing at the edge of something new. Not the fear of losing control, but the awareness that you are stepping into what you have been prepared for. I know part of you associates speed with risk. You learned to believe that anything good must arrive slowly or it will not last. But I am teaching you something different now. Speed does not determine depth. Alignment does. When things move according to my timing, they can move quickly without harming you. You are not being rushed into something you are unprepared for. You are stepping into what you were shaped to carry. That is why beneath the alertness there is peace. Even if your thoughts feel busy, there is a steadiness in your spirit that was not there before. That steadiness is your confirmation. Preparation did not only happen around you, it happened within you. While you waited, your expectations were reshaped. Your dependence deepened. Your discernment sharpened. You learned how to sit with uncertainty without losing yourself. Those lessons built capacity. Capacity makes acceleration safe. You may feel as though decisions are closer now. Opportunities feel nearer. Conversations carry more weight. That is not because pressure increased, it is because clarity increased. Confusion slows movement. Understanding releases it. Do not mistake speed for loss of control. I have not taken control away from you. I am guiding you into cooperation with what is already moving. You are not being dragged forward. You are being invited to walk at the pace of alignment instead of the pace of fear. The waiting taught you to lower expectations as a form of protection. That protection served you then, but now it can become a barrier if you cling to it. Acceleration feels uncomfortable because it challenges the posture you learned during delay. Waiting trained you to endure. Acceleration asks you to receive. Receiving feels vulnerable. Enduring feels familiar. That is why this shift can feel unsettling at first. But wisdom does not always look like holding back. Sometimes wisdom looks like trusting movement. Your restlessness is not telling you to run. It is telling you to pay attention. Something is forming quickly now because the path ahead has cleared. Resistance has eased. Timing has aligned. You are not early. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be. Understand this clearly. Chaos scatters. Alignment gathers. Chaos fragments the heart. Alignment brings focus, even when things are moving quickly. Check your inner state. Even now, there is focus forming, not confusion. That is how you know this movement is from me. Acceleration is also mercy. Long delay builds strength, but it can also build weariness. I do not delay fulfillment longer than necessary. When the moment arrives, I move decisively. That is not impatience, that is care. I know hope can feel fragile after a long wait. Speed can make you afraid to trust again. You may think that lowering your guard will lead to hurt, but I am not asking you to abandon discernment. I am asking you to trust that discernment has grown. You are not as vulnerable as you once were. Everything feels faster now because alignment removes friction. When friction disappears, even normal movement feels quick. This does not mean everything will happen at once. It means what needs to happen will not be delayed unnecessarily anymore. Understand this clearly. Chaos scatters, alignment gathers. Chaos fragments the heart. Alignment brings focus, even when things are moving quickly. Check your inner state. Even now, there is focus forming, not confusion. That is how you know this movement is from me. Acceleration is also mercy. Long delay builds strength, but it can also build weariness. I do not delay fulfillment longer than necessary. When the moment arrives, I move decisively. That is not impatience, that is care. I know hope can feel fragile after a long wait. Speed can make you afraid to trust again. You may think that lowering your guard will lead to hurt, but I am not asking you to abandon discernment. I am asking you to trust that discernment has grown. You are not as vulnerable as you once were. Everything feels faster now because alignment removes friction. When friction disappears, even normal movement feels quick. This does not mean everything will happen at once. It means what needs to happen will not be delayed unnecessarily anymore. Take comfort in this. Acceleration does not mean you are losing your footing. It means the ground beneath you has become firmer. You can walk more freely now because you are no longer navigating the same uncertainty. I am with you in this movement. I am not ahead of you, leaving you behind. I am beside you, matching the pace. You will not be asked to leap blindly. You will be shown where to place your feet. Your movement will not steal your peace. It will refine it. Peace that remains during motion is stronger than peace that exists only in stillness. I am building that kind of peace in you now. Trust that what is happening is not disorder. It is completion beginning to show itself. What you waited for is not rushing toward you unpredictably. It is arriving at the right time. Stay close as things move. Stay attentive, not anxious. Stay open, not guarded. This season feels different because it is different. And different does not mean dangerous. It means new. Everything is moving faster now because the waiting has finished its work. And what comes next will not erase what you learned. It will fulfill it. You are not being swept away. You are being carried forward. And I am with you in every step of this acceleration. I know the prayers you think are still unanswered. I know the ones you stopped saying aloud because repeating them felt painful. I know the requests you shortened over time because hope felt heavy. None of them were forgotten. I remember every time you came to me with the same prayer, even when you felt foolish repeating it. I remember the nights you whispered it softly and the days you could only think it in silence. I saw the tears you tried to hide. I was watching. I was listening. I was near. Your prayers were heard the moment they left your heart, not because they were perfect, but because love listens immediately. What you mistook for silence was formation. While you waited, answers were being shaped carefully. Some required movement in places you could not see. Some required growth in you so the answer would bless you instead of overwhelm you. You were not ignored. You were being guided through a process. Some prayers were answered in strength when you asked for escape. Some were answered in endurance when you asked for relief. Those were not lesser answers. They were necessary ones. Time passing did not weaken my faithfulness. Time strengthened it. What you prayed for required alignment, not just permission. Alignment takes patience. Once it is complete, movement follows swiftly. You did not wait too long. You did not miss your moment. Your prayers are not outdated. They are timely. You learned how to survive without expecting the answer. That strength matters. But now I am asking you to soften that distance. You no longer need to brace the same way. The moment you prayed for is approaching. That is why emotions are rising. That is why both hope and caution are present. The waiting was real. The struggle mattered. And it prepared you to receive without losing yourself. Do not measure your prayers by how long they took to be answered. Measure them by how they kept your heart connected to me. Connection is never wasted. What you prayed for is not being rebuilt, it is being revealed. What was hidden is beginning to surface. What was forming quietly is beginning to move. I am reminding you of this now so fear does not steal the joy of recognition. Your prayers were heard. Your tears mattered. And what you thought was still waiting is unfolding. There are movements happening now that do not announce themselves loudly. They are quiet, steady, precise. Alignment is taking place. Things that once resisted are beginning to agree. Timing, people, circumstances, and direction are lining up without force. You may notice small shifts, a conversation that feels different, an opportunity that carries peace instead of strain, a sense of ease where anxiety once ruled. These are signs of alignment. When alignment happens, effort decreases. You stop forcing outcomes and begin recognizing invitations. Let your soul rest here. What is moving now is real. What is unfolding is intentional, and you are exactly where you need to be. Stay with me. My child, I know which prayers you think are still waiting. I know the ones you stopped saying out loud because repeating them began to hurt. I know the requests you shortened over time because hope started to feel heavy to carry. I know the prayers that slowly turned into sighs, the ones that became quiet thoughts instead of spoken words. None of those were forgotten, not one. I remember every time you came to me with the same request, even when you felt foolish for asking again. I remember the nights you whispered it softly so you wouldn't wake anyone. I remember the days you prayed it silently because you didn't have the strength to speak. I remember the tears you tried to hide, the ones that fell when you thought no one was watching. I was watching. I was listening. I was near. Your prayers were heard the moment they left your heart. They did not need to be louder. They did not need better wording. They did not need perfect faith. I heard them because I love you. Love does not delay listening. Love responds even when the answer takes time to unfold. What you mistook for silence was not absence, it was formation. While you were waiting, answers were forming quietly, layer by layer, detail by detail. Some answers required movement in places you could not see. Some required timing beyond your control. Some required growth in you so the answer would not overwhelm or wound you. That kind of preparation is quiet, and quiet often feels like nothing is happening. I know there were moments when you wondered if I had changed my mind. Moments when you thought maybe you asked for too much, or waited too long, or believed too boldly. You told yourself, if the answer hasn't come by now, it probably never will. That thought did not come from me. It came from weariness. Weariness speaks lies gently, and that makes them harder to recognize. You are not wrong for feeling tired of waiting. Waiting stretches the heart. It exposes fear. It brings buried questions to the surface. But waiting does not mean rejection. Waiting means the answer is being prepared in a way that protects you, not just fulfills you. I want you to hear this clearly now. None of your prayers were placed on a shelf and forgotten. They were held carefully. They were considered fully. They were responded to wisely. You were never ignored. You were being guided through a process that would allow the answer to bless you instead of breaking you. Some of your prayers were answered the moment you prayed them, just not in the way you expected. Strength came when you asked for relief. Endurance came when you asked for escape. Clarity came slowly when you asked for immediate direction. Those were not lesser answers, they were necessary ones. I know you wanted visible change. I know you wanted circumstances to shift quickly. I know you were looking for proof that I was moving. But I was working in the unseen first, because unseen work lasts longer. What is built quietly? You feared your prayers were forgotten because time passed. But time passing does not weaken my faithfulness. Time passing often strengthens the outcome. What you prayed for required alignment, not just permission. Alignment takes patience. But once alignment is complete, movement follows swiftly. I remember the prayer you prayed so many times you eventually stopped counting. I remember the hope you tried to keep alive while telling yourself not to expect too much. I remember the way you braced your heart before praying again, afraid of disappointment. I saw that tension, I felt that ache, and I stayed with you through it. You did not fail because you doubted. Doubt did not disqualify your prayers. Doubt revealed how deeply you cared. You wanted to believe, but you were afraid to hope too freely. And I understand, that hope makes you vulnerable. Vulnerability costs something. You paid that cost more than once. Answers were forming quietly because I was working with care. I was weaving together details you could not see. I was protecting you from outcomes that would have looked good but harmed you later. I was shaping the answer so it would bring peace, not just relief. There were times you thought you heard nothing because I did not speak the way you expected, but I was guiding you through circumstances, through delays, through redirections. Every not yet carried wisdom. Every pause carried purpose. I want to remove this fear from you now, the fear that you waited too long and missed your chance. You did not miss anything. You did not pray too late. You did not stop too early. Your prayers are not outdated. They are timely. I know you learned to live without expecting the answer. That was a way to protect yourself. You learned how to keep going even when hope felt risky. That strength matters. But now I am asking you to let that protective distance soften, not disappear, just soften. You do not need to brace yourself in the same way anymore. Your prayers were not waiting because I was hesitant. They were waiting because the moment had not yet arrived. And now the moment is drawing near. That is why this feels emotional. That is why memories of those prayers are rising again. That is why you feel both hope and caution at the same time. You did not imagine the delay. You did not exaggerate the struggle. It was real, and it mattered. Waiting shaped you. Waiting deepened you. Waiting prepared you to receive without losing yourself. Do not measure the value of your prayers by how long they took to be answered. Measure them by how they kept you connected to me. Connection is never wasted. Even when answers felt far away, every prayer kept your heart turned toward me. I do not forget my children. I do not forget their cries. I do not forget their faithfulness, even when that faithfulness feels small. You are not starting over now. You are continuing. What you prayed for is not being rebuilt from scratch. It is being revealed. What was hidden is beginning to surface. What was forming quietly is beginning to move. Let this truth heal the part of you that learned to expect disappointment. You were not wrong to hope. You were not foolish to pray. You were not ignored in the waiting. I am reminding you of this now because the answer is closer than it has ever been, and I do not want fear to steal the joy of recognition when it arrives. Stay with me here. Your prayers were heard. Your tears mattered. The waiting had purpose, and what you thought was still waiting is now beginning to unfold. My child, now I want to gently lift the veil, not to overwhelm you, not to rush you, but to help you understand what is happening right now in the unseen. There are movements taking place that do not announce themselves loudly. They do not arrive with spectacle or noise. They do not demand attention. They are quiet, they are steady, they are intentional. And because they are quiet, they are often underestimated. But quiet does not mean small. Often it means precise. Right now, alignment is happening. Alignment is when things that once resisted each other begin to agree. When timing, people, circumstances, and direction start to line up without force. When what felt blocked no longer pushes back the same way. When effort decreases and clarity increases. You may not see it fully yet, but you can feel it. That sense that the weight you carried for so long is loosening. That subtle relief you can't quite explain. That feeling that life is no longer pressing against you with the same resistance. That is not imagination. That is resistance weakening. I have been arranging what could not be arranged before. I have been moving what could not move earlier. I have been protecting what needed covering. Some doors remained closed not because you were unworthy, but because opening them too soon would have caused harm instead of blessing. Doors opened too early expose what is not ready. Doors opened at the right moment provide shelter, clarity, and peace. That moment is approaching now, and some doors have already begun to open quietly, without fanfare, without announcement. You may notice small changes that feel insignificant at first, a conversation that goes differently than expected, an opportunity that feels gentler than the struggle you prepared for, a sense of calm where anxiety once lived. These are signs of alignment. When alignment happens, striving decreases. You stop forcing outcomes and start recognizing invitations. You stop pushing doors and begin noticing which ones are already opening. This is not coincidence. This is preparation meeting timing. I know you are tempted to question whether it is really happening. I know part of you wants proof before trust. That instinct was formed in survival. But I am inviting you now to notice something deeper than proof. Notice how your spirit feels steadier. Notice how fear no longer has the same authority. Notice how your decisions feel clearer, even if the path ahead is not fully revealed. That steadiness is my presence. I am not asking you to leap blindly. I am not asking you to rush ahead. I am asking you to walk attentively. This season does not require force. It requires awareness. Stay present. Do not rush past small confirmations because you are waiting for something dramatic. Often I confirm direction through peace, not fireworks. Through clarity, not chaos. You are not being swept into something unfamiliar without guidance. You are being led into something prepared with care. The acceleration you feel is not disorder. It is completion beginning to show itself. You are not losing your footing. The ground beneath you has become firmer. That is why movement feels easier now. That is why effort feels lighter. That is why things that once took all your strength now require less. I am with you in this movement. I am not ahead of you, leaving you to catch up. I am not behind you, pushing you forward. I am beside you, matching the pace. You will not be asked to keep up on your own. You will be shown where to place your feet. Your speed will not steal your peace. It will refine it. Peace that survives movement is stronger than peace that exists only in stillness. That is the peace I am forming in you now. Stay close to me as things move. Stay attentive, not anxious. Stay open, not guarded. This season feels different because it is different. And different does not mean dangerous. It means new. Everything is moving now because the waiting has done its work. What comes next will not undo what you learned. It will fulfill it. The endurance you built will now support joy. The patience you learned will now protect blessing. The humility you developed will now carry responsibility without burden. You are not being tested anymore in the same way. You are being trusted. Trusted to recognize alignment. Trusted to respond with wisdom. Trusted to receive without fear. And as you step forward, you will notice something else. You are no longer chasing what you once begged for. What belongs to you is beginning to meet you. You are no longer trying to prove readiness. Readiness is already present. You are no longer standing on the edge of almost. You are stepping into alignment. So breathe. Let your shoulders lower. Let your guard soften. Let your heart remain open. You are not late. You are not behind. You are right on time. What you have waited for has not forgotten you. It is finding you. And I am with you, now and in every step that follows. Rest in that. This is not the end. This is the beginning, received with clarity, carried with peace, and guided with love. Amen.